Welcome back to the Spicy Vegetarian. Today we're making a veggie curry and kumara roti on the side. I went in straight with the veggies. Having potato in my curries, like especially when it's super soft and it just melts in your mouth. I feel like potatoes work really well with curries. I also later on put in some chickpeas. Chickpeas are just like healthy or whatever. I think it's like protein or something. So I went in to cut this onion and it was full on rotten, and it's so hard to tell when it's covered in layers of like onion skin or whatever you call it. Yeah, if you have any tips about how to figure out whether an onion's rotten or not from the outside without having to cut into it, that would be really handy, because like since I filmed this I've definitely cut into a few different rotten onions, which is just really gross and not the best pleasant surprise. It's not pleasant at all. I don't know why I said pleasant. And then on to my favorite bit, ginger and garlic. Love these fresh spices. Grating it with that little tool that I have, which is really scary to use actually. I really don't like it, but it does the job, I guess. Tapping away there, trying to get all of that ginger and garlic out of this little tool. I don't usually use coconut oil in my dishes, but because I'm going to later on in this video use coconut cream to thicken up this curry, I thought it would kind of just like cancel each other out. Otherwise, usually I find that coconut oil, you can still taste it in other dishes where you shouldn't really, unless I feel like it is a coconut themed dish like this one. So yeah, otherwise I prefer olive oil or canola oil or some other veggie oil. The spices that I used were turmeric, cumin powder, coriander powder, chili powder, and curry powder. Of course, there are other mixes of spices that you can use. These are kind of just like my staple spices that I always have, that are kind of just my basic curry. But yeah, definitely have a play around and look at other things like garam masala. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correct. There are other things like star anise and cloves and things that you can add in to add like different flavors and layers and things. So bay leaves as well. So yeah, definitely have a try and mix up your spices there. tomato straight from the can. Of course, you can take your time and use fresh tomatoes and chop them up yourself for this. Straight with my veggies that I rinsed off and just kind of coat them in there in the soup a little bit. Pop the lid on and just let them cook up. Heat on high for like about 5-ish 10 minutes, and then I turn the heat down low a little bit. You can also just take the lid off and just kind of let the curry simmer and let that water evaporate more easily. I don't know, canned chickpea smell. Don't know how to explain it, but I really try and rinse the chickpeas quite a few times to try and get rid of that, and it helps that they'll be mixed up in this curry and there's no kind of strong chickpea canned taste. I'm not really a massive fan of dairy, so I don't really like cream or butter or cheese. Cheese is like alright as long as it's like cooked cheese, but yeah, I love having like things like coconut cream, or I use a lot of corn flour as well to thicken up my soups and curries and pastas and all of these different things where you'd usually put in cream cheese or kind of full fat cream or whatever it is. On to the kumara roti. So in New Zealand, where I've lived pretty much all my life, we call sweet potatoes kumara, so that's why I've gone with kumara. It's just my default, but I know in other parts of the world it's yams or sweet potatoes, so bear with me if you don't understand what a kumara is. In New Zealand we have the gold kumara, the red kumara, which is like red purple, and then like an orange kumara. So with this recipe I just use whatever kumara I want. Sometimes they like price them differently at the supermarket, which I think is weird because it's still kumara, like doesn't really matter what kind of color it is. I don't really know the science behind it, if there is much of a difference between kumara, but anyway, in this video I've used the red purple kumara. You can kind of see why they call it red / purple. I've used all the different kinds and it doesn't really affect the consistency or taste of the roti at all. I just peel them, boil them. You can add a little bit of salt if you want, you don't actually need it, and add in some flour. I've used gluten-free flour in the past. In this recipe I'm just using like that plain all-purpose flour from the supermarket, but yeah, I've tested out gluten-free and I've used this as well. Gluten-free is a little it's super fine, so like I find it hard to like mix everything together, which is why I prefer all-purpose, but it definitely does work. best at this. I don't even have a rolling pin. I used my Glad Wrap or cling film roll that I have. Yeah, again, we call it Glad Wrap in New Zealand. Other parts of the world I know it's cling film, plastic wrap, saran wrap, whatever, but I use that rolling pin as a rolling pin, as you can see. I didn't have anything else. Sometimes I even just kind of like knead it out with my hand. I've done that in the past, but they kind of turn out really ugly and not as smooth and flat as you'd like. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Leave a comment below if you have any video suggestions or any kind of videos that you'd like me to make that are food related.